a strategic partner. We work in good faith with them and vice versa. Now, here is the current situation which is getting all the attention in Ghana. French soldiers are currently training our Ghanaian soldiers as part of official military cooperation between Ghana and France. They've named it Jungle Warfare Training, ladies and gentlemen. From the little information I've gathered, this is not a classroom French language training like before for communication purposes. This is a field drill for combat purpose. This is different from what happened in the early 2000s. Ladies and gentlemen, this is similar to the kind of military training Ghana does with the UK and the USA. And here are two facts about this sudden exercise that you really need to know. The first is they are engaging in this exercise to help Ghana's efforts against illegal mining. Galamseyers. And secondly, Ghana government invited them. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ghana initiated this collaboration according to all the sources I've looked at, including checking on the Ghana Armed Forces website. The French instructors, who are 15 in number, are going to be training Ghana's soldiers for 3 weeks in the Achiase military barracks. The program focuses on live fire drills, tactical jungle operations, simulated ambushes, reconnaissance, and coordinated exercises, skills relevant to Ghana's effort against armed illegal miners, they said. You need to visit the Ghana Armed Forces website for official information on what's going on with the exercise. Now, here is the dilemma, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the dilemma. Ghana's President John Mahama is one of the few West African leaders Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso actually trusts. And here's how I know that to be true. In President Mahama's swearing-in as Ghana's president, Traore made sure to attend, even at the time when attacks and threats from France were at its peak. Traore showed up and received a rousing welcome from the people in the stands and from President Mahama himself. Now, Mahama understands the situation the AES and Traore especially are in currently with France. He understands it. He understands it better than all of us. And yet, this is the dilemma. He chooses to invite French military instructors to train Ghanaian soldiers on combating armed galamseyers in a time like this. Ladies and gentlemen, does this sound normal to you or not? Does this look like President Mahama is acting in good faith towards Traore or not? I don't know what to make of it. Does Traore have a good reason to be worried about his relationship with President Mahama or not? What do you make of it? In the comment section. Firstly, in this month, the United States government is invited by Nigeria for military collaborations to fight jihadists in the north. The French government, secondly, is actively involved in the military of the Ivory Coast. And now, all of a sudden, Ghana is getting involved with France. Does this sound normal, ladies and gentlemen? Ghana's port is where Burkina Faso takes the chunk of their imports. How will this impact the relationship between us and them per the trajectory our president is taking? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a theory. You know I always come up with a theory. So I have a theory. In my theory, two things are likely. The first is, it's either President Mahama and Traore have already spoken on this issue and understood themselves before the exercise took off, or it was forced on Mahama to engage the French, which he will still have to speak with Traore about it once the media blows it out of proportion. Either way, it is most likely these two heads of states are in talks over this. That is my theory, and I hope I'm right. Now, this is my personal point of view concerning this matter. The French government is the last thing the government of Ghana should be dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. There is absolutely nothing about them that is desirable after how they've rendered Francophone Africans over the last 40 years. They have made them unstable. Most of them are unstable, impoverished, and underdeveloped. There is nothing Ghana need